Okay, let's just dive right into this. Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're taking a really powerful journey into the mind of one of the absolute legends of personal development, Jim Rohn. In this explainer, we're going to break down the actual mechanics, like the nuts and bolts of moving from just sheer mediocrity into spectacular, undeniable action. We're not going to waste your time with the standard self-help fluff you've probably heard a million times before. Instead, we're looking at the raw, unvarnished truth of what it actually takes to change your life's trajectory, using Rohn's incredibly sharp logic. So let's get into it. So, I want you to think about the absolute, unwavering resolve of this statement. I'll do it or die, right? Now, what's really fascinating here isn't just that it sounds super dramatic, it's actually a fundamental shift in how you interface with the world. Rohn points out that the world has this funny habit of just stepping aside when someone actually adopts this mindset. Imagine looking at a mountain. Everyone tells you it's too high, too rocky, literally impossible. But you say, look, it's my mountain and I'm climbing it. You're either going to see me waving from the very top or dead on the side because I am not coming back. I mean, wow. That is the ultimate statement of resolve. Those two words, I will. They might just be the most powerful words we've got. And Rohn actually backs this up with a brilliant quote from the 19th century statesman Benjamin Disraeli. He basically said that absolutely nothing can resist a human will that is willing to stake its very existence on its purpose. So, what's the big takeaway here? Well, quitting is literally the only guaranteed way to fail. Think about it. Rohn jokes that when you quit, they don't bring it up for a committee vote to decide if you lose. No way, you just lose automatically. Your will, when you push it to that absolute edge, is an unstoppable force. But what happens if you just, let that will sit there unused? Well, that brings us straight into what Rohn calls the law of use. And he's blunt about this. The definition is simple. Whatever you do not employ, you forfeit. It's basically the old use it or lose it rule, but applied to your very soul. It's a natural law. If you've got all this ambition, right, but you just leave it sitting there on the shelf, it declines. If you have these strong feelings but you never act on them, they diminish. Even faith, if you let it sit totally idle, it decreases. Not using your gifts actively causes you to lose them. You've got to promise yourself right now that you are going to put that internal drive to actual use. To really hit this point home, Rohn asks this incredibly simple yet totally profound question. How long should a baby try to learn how to walk? I mean, seriously, pause and think about that for a second. How much time would you give an average baby before you just say, all right, kid, that's enough, walking just isn't your thing? I mean, the answer obviously is until it learns. Any mother on earth would look at you like you're completely insane for even asking that. That baby is going to keep trying, falling down, getting back up and trying again until it finally figures it out. Rohn looks at this innate human perseverance as practically a magic formula for lifelong determination. We are all literally born with this relentless drive to just keep going until we succeed. But somewhere along the way, we grow up and we kind of lose it. So how on earth do we get it back? What's the actual trigger that makes us take action as adults? Well, surprisingly, that catalyst isn't always some beautiful burst of inspiration. Actually, a lot of the time, it's disgust. You finally get to a point where you have to do something about how you feel. And the trigger that flips that emotion into genuine life-changing action is just committing an act that says, I've had it. Disgust is incredibly powerful. It could be over something super small or something huge, like lying to yourself or being sick of being broke or just accepting mediocrity. But let me tell you, the day you finally look in the mirror and say, I've had it, well, that might not be the day your problems magically end, but it is absolutely 100% the day your new life begins. To show you exactly what this looks like, Rohn tells this ridiculously vivid, almost painful story centered around 2 pennies. Literally just 2 cents. He describes his husband who has finally completely had it with living a mediocre life. So this guy is standing in the grocery store, watching his wife. She's holding 2 cans of beans. One is 37 cents, the other is 39 cents. And this guy is just feeling physically sick inside because he just knows she's gonna pick the 37-cent can, a brand she doesn't even like, just to save 2 miserable pennies. And that sick feeling? That's what finally makes him snap. He just says, I've had it being on my knees in the dust looking for pennies. We are not living like this anymore. Boom. That right there is the ultimate emotional breaking point, hitting absolute zero on your tolerance for mediocrity. That can literally be the day that turns everything around for you. That sheer disgust forces your hand. But, and this is crucial, disgust alone is not going to sustain you. You have to take that raw motivation and build a bridge to discipline. You absolutely must make sure that your game plan is bigger than your wishes. If you don't have a concrete game plan to match those desires, they're just going to evaporate into thin air. Rohn actually pulls some biblical wisdom in here, noting that we shouldn't just be listeners, we need to be doers, because the world rewards the doers. He also drops that famous line, faith without action is useless. Look, you might not be able to execute on every single thing you learn, but you absolutely owe it to yourself to find out everything you can do. And this brings up a massive trap people fall into once they get motivated. If you lean entirely on affirmations but you skip the discipline part, you're basically at the doorstep of delusion. Seriously, a lot of people are super into daily affirmations, and that's great, but Rohn warns us that there's a razor-thin line between faith and foolishness. Just repeating happy thoughts to yourself without the rigorous discipline of a real game plan is, frankly, completely useless. But, and here's the magic, if you actually combine those positive affirmations with real daily discipline, the results are going to be spectacular. To really burn into your brain just how dangerous delusion can be, think of it like this. Delusion is walking west looking for the sunrise. I mean, just let the sheer absurdity of that sink in. You can chant, you can affirm, you can be the most positive person on the planet while you're marching west, but guess what? You are never ever going to see the sunrise. It just defies reality. But the second you pair that positive mindset with the right disciplined action, like simply turning around and walking east, the results are breathtaking. Now, to make sure you're facing the right direction, Rohn gives us 4 really vital questions. All right, this is basically the climax of this entire explainer. These are what Jim Rohn calls his questions to ponder, and it's like a logical ladder you climb to build a blueprint for your ambition. Step 1, why? Step 2, why not? Step 3, why not you? And finally, step 4, why not now? So let's unpack these one by one, because if you actually take these to heart, I promise you they will totally reshape your game plan. Okay, first up is probably the biggest question in the world. Why? Why on earth should you try so hard? Why read all those books? Why push yourself to go that far? Why try to earn that kind of money or share that much wealth? Or get up at the crack of dawn to put yourself through such rigorous discipline? Look, it's a completely fair question. Going after all that good stuff takes an immense amount of effort. You've got to have a rock-solid underlying purpose if you're going to survive the friction of all that growth. But here is where Rohn's logic is just brilliant. He says one of the best answers to the question why is the second question, why not? Seriously, what else are you going to do with your life? I mean, you've got to hang around on this earth until it's your time to go anyway, so why not see how many books you can read? Why not see exactly how far you can push yourself, how much you can earn, how much influence you can build? You're going to pass the time regardless. You might as well maximize every single second of it. Which leads us perfectly into the third question. Why not you? Think about it. Some people out there have done incredibly well for themselves. They get to see it all, do it all, just experience the whole shebang. And a lot of those people started with basically nothing and still went on to do incredible things. So why shouldn't that be you? Imagine the kind of scenes Rohn describes, like watching the morning mist roll over the mountains of Scotland, or just soaking in a brilliant Arizona sunset, being deeply involved in commerce and love and travel. You really need to understand the kind of life that comes from splendid discipline. There's absolutely nothing like the view from the top. So honestly, why not you? Now, as we wrap things up here, Rohn shares this bit of closing philosophy, a concept we can basically call the two-way street. He talks about asking for God's help, pointing out that while humans are amazing, we could all definitely use a little backup now and then. But the real core takeaway here, and this ties everything we've talked about together, is that your own human effort is the absolute non-negotiable requirement. You have got to do your part first. It's a two-way street. Building your game plan, sticking to your discipline, flat out refusing to quit, that is you doing your part. And that brings us to the fourth and definitely the most provocative question: why not now? Seriously, why postpone your better future for even one more day? Don't wait around. Wake up tomorrow with a totally new fire. Start that project. Get your game plan going. Grab a brand new journal. Start asking yourself better questions. Set those new goals and do it right now, because the clock is ticking and the world is literally just waiting to step aside for you. So, what is your very first step going to be today? I'm going to leave you to ponder that one. Thanks so much for going through this explainer with me, and I'll see you in the next one.